Hi, come here. I'm reading more of the Book of Bill. I'm in a different spot because I got tired of listening to the neighbor children screaming like they always do. Let me go find where I was. It was the Scribbles page. I've officially read through the entire book, by the way. That was something I did on my own time. Did I go past Scribbles? I may have gone past Scribbles. This is harder to find than I expected. Scribbles, come on, I already murdered you. Don't do this. There's Scribbles. This is the page we ended on last time. Yeah. Okay. Parallel dimensions. Well, Scribbles is dead. It had to happen. Trust me, we were doing that guy a favor. Once you get one book elf, soon there's more, eating all your commas and drinking all your page gloss. If it makes you feel any better, there's a dimension where he's still alive and well. I am one of the few gifted with the ability to see into these other worlds. There's a world where every typo you make comes true. A lot of ducks in that dimension. A world where I'm a square, we don't talk about that world. A terrifying chibiverse where everyone's arms and legs have been sanded down to nubs. And I can see worlds where the Pines family lost. Look at them, these two plucky little protagonists, happily ever aftering, without a care in their oversized heads. They don't consider for a single moment the sheer improbability that they got to exist in the one timeline where they kept all their bodily organs out of the infinite timelines where they were erased. Shattered, drowned, frozen, or dismembered before they could make it to 13. But I guarantee you that their less lucky dimensional duplicates think about them all the time. Maybe one day, all these parallel Pines will get the chance to meet face to face. Maybe one day in the future, all their good luck will finally run out. Sorry, I forgot to show the page. Ooh, come here. I'm sure you've seen the picture. Urban legends. Ever since the electric light chased the sea monsters into hiding and the giants went underground to avoid getting hit by planes, cryptids have been adapting to human society, giving birth to the urban legend. You're no good to see me dead, so let me know if you see these creeps lurking in your town. Slender Man. It's like Southern Slenderman. Slenderman. sorry. Found hiding in hollowed out telephone poles. Not glossy, shit. He doesn't even look glossy. There is something wrong with me and my ability to read. This gossipy beanpole started the rumor that Bill Cipher practices his entrances for hours before he's summoned. Lies. I always improvise my intros. I'm going to sue his long, weird arms off. I'm going to sue his long, weird arms off as soon as I can get a hold of my lawyer. Guillermo del Torso. Everyone loves ribs, except when they're hovering towards you and making the scream a rabbit makes when it dies. Guillermo doesn't just love trapping children in his ribcage, he also has a passion for cinema. He keeps sending me a script for National Treasure 4, but I haven't read it yet. The Off Model. Ever seen a cartoon mascot that looked off? The Off Model stalk county fairs and bootleg markets pretending to be some IP you trust. Then sheds his cutaneous outer shell the moment you reach for your camera. The tip-off should be the smell of stomach acid when his face does this. Overheard saying, "Hello, I am Dripper Pines. Here is my famous catchphrase. Marble, time time for we suffer another mystery." Off model variation number 3762, Dripper Pines. Me! That's right, I'm the best urban legend of all. Every sleep paralysis demon has a picture of me taped in their locker. Teens are always trying to summon me to impress their crushes, and paranoid moms are always leaving these around. I trusted a triangle? Legend has it that you can summon me by leaving a plate of spaghetti out in the forest. Is it true? Only one way to find out. By the way, the Parmesan must be freshly grated, or everyone you love will die. This one's all backwards. I can't be bothered to flip it to read it properly. I can read backwards, but it takes forever, and I don't think anyone wants to watch me struggle to read backwards. Oh shit, I can read it like this. Oh my god. Wait, okay. The Mirror Realm. Every mirror is a gateway to the Mirror Realm, an inverted anti-reality home to urban legends and at least one of my exes, ready to step through the looking glass. Do I really want to do this and read it like this? I guess. I'll read what I can. I can't see very well though. Bloody Mary. Mary has ruined more slumber parties than Little Brothers and Cramps combined. Just say her name 3 times in the mirror and get ready to paint the town red with plasma and hemoglobin. Me and Mary used to be a great team, but then she blocked my number for some reason, and I will not elaborate on that further. Flip her horizontal, an annoying, self-obsessed reflection imp who talks in riddles. Flip always does the exact opposite of whatever he's told. So if you say Flip horizontal isn't a loser, you'll say Flip horizontal is a total loser on marbles and evaporate. I wonder if he has Mary's new number. Not that I even care. Dysmorpho. Hate the way you look in the mirror? Blame Dysmorpho. He's the one who convinces you to stay inside because your face looks weird today. Don't fall for it. The truth is you are disgusting, but so is everyone. Therefore, you should flaunt it. Stare right in the mirror each day and say, fuck, this is hard to read. I have to put it close enough that I can read it. I'm blind as shit, guys. I am a repulsive beast of unfathomable wretchedness. Shit. Fuck, help me. Grotesque beyond measure. I feed on your disgust. I am repugnance incarnate, and shame cannot claim me. Then headbutt the mirror to show him who's boss. David Lynch. Despite the rumors, he doesn't live in Los Angeles. He lives in an unknowable labyrinth, deep within the mirror realm. They say you can summon him with a cup of fine, strong coffee and a very persistent agent, but Mr. Hollywood always dodges my calls. Bill was here. The eye stealer. God bless him. This fella just loves stealing eyes. Blue eyes, brown eyes, doesn't matter. If you've got 2 eyes in your skull, the eye stealer wants them. And buddy, he's gonna get them. He only appears in 1 out of every 33 mirrors, so you're probably fine. But best to never blink again though, just in case. That's when he does it. He's honestly a riot. I gave him your address. You hear that knocking? Hard to read like this. The reflect exorcist. If any of these ghouls get out of control, I know a guy you can call to trap them back in the mirror. He owes me a favor. Or Reflexy has a whistle that can shatter any surface and uncuttable skin made entirely from scar tissue, and he's immune to reflectoplasm. There's no mirror he can't break, physically or mentally. Just don't look at his face. Never look at his face. To be determined. Can't prove he's from here, but it tracks. I'll move away, I'm sorry. I'm very close to you. Silly straws. Hey look, here's my collection of silly straws. Teehee. They're so silly. Wow, I love these things. Isn't this a nice change of pace? Listen to that steel drum. Man, what a great page. Nothing else to see here. Just these straws. I cut the page where I was going to talk about Shermie Pines, but it was worth it. Little fact, once you kill with one of these, it becomes a serious straw. Floob? Okay. Don't shake Bill's hand. Well, kid, you blew it. They say better safe than sorry, but somehow you managed to be both. I see a vision of your future. Your aversion to risks will cause you to get a job as a middle manager at a mustard factory in Lewiston, Idaho. You will marry someone of moderate attractiveness and have 4 bland children whose names you will frequently forget. Gervis, Horvin, Borley, and Smunt. And you'll spend the rest of your life slowly being suffocated by silent desperation, your hopes and dreams becoming fainter, foggier, harder to remember with each passing day, until one day you're raking the leaves outside your gray house and you'll see a yellow triangle yield sign, and the shape will cause some distant part of you to remember that you could have had more. As your mind flickers with its last dim spark of hope, you won't hear the truck coming. The guy writing your obituary will be so bored you'll fall asleep on the keyboard, and it will just read the life of gibberish. No one will notice the typo. Codes. Your world is controlled by dark, invisible forces that need to operate in the shadows to maintain their power. To communicate, they hide their secrets out in the open, written in a special way so only those in the know can read them. Fine print, terms of service, music and theme parks, subliminal messages in your commercials. You're surrounded by codes. Not in this book, however. Sorry, Mr. Nosy. I'm a straight shooter. None of that double talk from me. You can ditch the red yarn and put down your coffee. This book has no codes. My horrible heads. Here's a look at my scrambled faces collection. Aren't they beautiful? As a reward for being such a good disciple, how about I redecorate the face of one of your enemies on the house? Just write your nemesis name here and choose from one of these popular options. Golly, if you could only hear the sounds these heads are making. It's so much worse than what you're imagining. Looks like you nodded off. Welcome to the mindscape, a secret back door connecting all consciousness. Every time you hit your REM cycle, a tunnel opens from your mind to my playground. If you sleep with this book on your pillow, it may even show up tonight. Lucid dream lessons start in your brain at 3:33 a.m. Sharp. Set your alarm for never. I'm one of the I'm one of the select few VIPs who's got the keys to this liminal basement, and I have seen things that you wouldn't believe. Since you and I are pals, here's a peek inside a few familiar minds. Sixer dreams about a pop quiz that asks them, what are you attracted to? It usually writes, I'm attracted to logic and preparation. Not sure what to call that. Pansexual? This is Wendy. Almost every dream is about her mom. Sorry, Pine Tree. This one's Dipper. Some of the greatest, not Dipper, Mabel. Some of the greatest dreams in the mindscape. A mix between Hieronymus Bosch and Lisa Frank. But constant nightmares about being unable to save a dying pig. This one's Dipper. Reoccurring nightmares about overhearing a fight between his parents he wasn't supposed to hear. Why do you think they were in such a rush to get the kids out the door for the summer? This one's Seuss. Mindscape is a baffling mix of 80s movies, video games, and pudding cups that eat you. Constant dreams about getting his last name legally changed to Pines. His girlfriend's going to have a problem with this. The next one's Pacifica. Nightmares about trying to wash blood off her hands that never comes out, being 100 feet tall, and accidentally crushing the town. The lumberjack ghost still talks to her at night. The next one's Robbie. Dreams about his original hair color. You think he's a blonde? I bet he's a blonde. Stan. Endless dreams about high school, about his brother trapped inside a science fair experiment. I'm not sure who the star with the eye is. I should look that up sometime, but that one. Still dreams about... Oh, I know who it is. It's Gideon. Yeah. Still dreams about that sailor suit. He loved it. Blubs. Only dreams about Derland. Derland only dreams about Blubs. Want to take a closer look? Embarrassing memories. Ah, Pine Tree. I've seen the sweaty pile of elbows and acne from the inside out, and he's got enough personal humiliations on file to entertain me forever. If you think an ageless demigod would be above binge-watching the misery of a random 12-year-old, guess again. Some lowlights. The time he discovered that his fly had been down during the entire 3 days of Weird Mageddon. Everyone noticed, no one said anything. He's referred to Zipper Pines in Mabel, Tambry, and Mayor Tyler's group chat. Clogged the toilet at Northwest Manor. Blamed it on the ghost. Climbed a tree with Wendy. Fire department had to be called to get him down. I'm nosy. I want to know what they're doing over there. I can hear them. Sniff Ford's turtleneck. Got his arm and head stuck inside. Accidentally glued himself to the Sasquatch. Fire department had to be called to get him out. No matter where he stands on a baseball diamond, the ball always hits his face. It's like magic. How does he do it? Haha, trauma. I also always get hit in the head anytime I'm anywhere near baseball, so I just don't be near it. Except the kids next door like to play baseball, so I'm constantly concerned that they're going to break a window because they do hit the building a lot. It's unfortunate. Forgot to clear his search history on Seuss's browser, and Mabel saw all this. Wendy corduroy Instagram. Wendy pictures online. Lumberjack girls. Delete search history permanent. Drank coffee, heart feel weird dying. Dipper pines plus cool plus what people are saying. Fake chest hair convincing tips. Remove hot glue goat hair from chest urgent. Is it okay to wear same shorts for a week? Baba latest release. Normal to have no friends. Can you kill ghost? Does killing ghost make double ghost? Attracted to green M&M. Oh, no. Yeah, no, it is M&M. Yeah. Unhealthy. Green M&M smiling at me. Lyme disease signs. Sousaphone tutorials. SPF 100 sunscreen for ultra sensitive skin, no tears. Crystal forums. Is my sister's Nerby haunted? How to stop Uncle sleepwalking with eyes open. It is so scary. Immoral to eat candy monster. Was alive. Stan Pines arrest records. Hot glue sent a candle gift for sister. Subliminal messages in cartoons. Is my voice getting higher? Backwards puberty. Is backwards puberty real? Plutonium taste. Girls who like elaborate puzzles, mazes. What the heck a Dedron? Answer cheat. And the sidekick. Dipper Pine's sidekick. Normal head size circumference. Thought I saw the moon blink. Is moon alive serious? Zeus Azamarino Ramirez age. Fear of triangles support group. Traded body with sister support group. Uncle dressed me as shirtless wolf boy support group. Big words to impress people while talking. Grow extra finger impress uncle. First kiss was merman, does this count? Can't get sister's glitter out of clothes. Tension in household excessive glitter. Pacifica Northwest pageant video. Toby determined what is he. CIA, are you reading this right now? To CIA, these were all fake searches just to test your agent's readiness. You passed. You can now delete my search history. Vestrash. Fighting Vestrash. Living with Vestrash. This guy's having a rough time with that search history. Met his soulmate anonymously chatting online on conspiracy singles. Was devastated to find out Shaq Fan 2000 was actually Zeus. Falling for my dream pranked, I beamed these fake spoilers of the author's identity into his head nightly, and he fell for every one of them. Toby determined, Waddles the pig, this other guy. Imagine being this gullible. Some part of Pine Tree still thinks Gorney is the author. That must be his name then. Oh, this one's so pretty, the background. I love Mabel. She's great. She's got great color scheme. Now this kid I like. A chaos agent wrapped in a deceptively cute yarn exoskeleton. She bends headbands and bends reality to her unhinged whims. Her teeth have jagged metal attack barbs that can bite clean through scented markers. Her indoor voice can rupture eardrums, and she personally ascended to the astral plane just by guzzling expired sugar. Pine Tree was too weak to join me, but Shooting Star's love of chaos made me wonder if one day she could be swayed to my side. A few days before Weirmageddon, I hopped into her dreams ready to make a deal. Unfortunately, her mind had wanted posters of me everywhere just because I possessed her brother one time. Kinda hypocritical considering she possessed her brother one time too. I needed intel to sway her, but her hull of secret fantasies was guarded by bouncers. Yep, Crass Sassler and Kyler Q. Blaze. to neon one-dimensional surf himbos with backstories so confusing that no one could tell if they were brothers, husbands, or clones. To earn their trust, I took the form of Chill Cipher, a human boy who loves being rad and having the right amount of eyes. They were intrigued by my skateboard trick, eating the skateboard, but dared me to prove my trustworthiness by joining them in a bonding montage. Ugh. A tip about montages, you can't fight them. When one starts, you have to just let your body go limp, endure the volleyball playing, chest waxing, sauna towel whipping, dabbing each other's noses with frozen yogurt, teaching a dinosaur with shades to believe in himself, daring to say no to drugs, and surf competitions until the music stops. Finally, they agreed I was legit enough to see Mabel's secret fantasies and opened up a hidden locker to reveal a CD of Fantasy by Mariah Carey. This was it. How was I supposed to manipulate Shooting Star into smashing the rift with this? In my rage, I melted Kraz's face off with my mind. It grew back, alas, hunkier than ever. This has the answers to everything, Brosa. Kraz. When May's got a case of the sad, she puts on her headphones and retreats to her sweet, sweet fantasy, baby. What is her vulnerability? I shrieked, my puka shell necklace catching on fire. They pouted at me like baffled dogs. I exhaled slowly, slicked back my single blonde hair, what gives May these aforementioned sads. They hung their heads wisely. Summer's ending, my guy. Ending to death, bro. She'd do anything to make the last day longer. Probably something rash and out of character, even. That would turn things from fresh to grody. Yeah, that would be Mariah scary. That was it. She'd never make a deal with me, but she'd make a deal with someone she believed could give her more time. The dream was done. I had her. There's so much more book to go. Good grief. Shooting Star wasn't the only brain I crashed before Weirmageddon. After me and Sixer were no longer on first brain bases, I decided to pay his henchman a visit to see if the professor would be nutty enough to make this deal. This was a mistake. I peered into the souls of madmen, but this was the first time I've been in a mind that was collapsing like a neutron star. Decades of memories were missing, shards of emotional damage whizzed by like bullets. Some desperate part of him seemed to be trying to heal himself, hoping to weld his memories back together, like one of his robots. But thanks to years of using his own brain damage ray on himself, this mind was scrambled into something I couldn't decode. A single spark from the memory inferno hit me, and a hole sizzled straight through me like a razor through butter. For the first time, I felt a kind of pain that wasn't hilarious. I'd heard enough overlapping banjo solos to last me a lifetime. I was out, and I never came back. What is that? It's gotta be those fucking broken ass electrical wires, probably. That's what happens when you live in a village. The meaning of life. I'm gonna cut to the quick, pal. The blind universe that barfed you out didn't plan for you to get smart enough to start worrying about what your meaning is. It only wanted you to make babies and climb into the grave. Life doesn't care about your meaning, so why should you care about its meaning? If anything, life is your enemy. Create your own meaning and defy life to stop you. When it comes to life's meaning, there is none, which is good news because it means you get to decide what it is for yourself. Therefore, the meaning of life is whatever you write here. It's that simple. Where I come from, everyone just followed whatever meaning was handed down to them, like ants blindly scrambling over each other's corpses for sugar. I learned from an early age that if I was going to make anything of myself, I was going to need to figure out my own meaning. Maybe this will make a little more sense when I tell you my story. all the way from my birth to my death. Buckle up. My story. My throat hurts. Oh my god. I don't have anything to drink today. Give me a second. I'm gonna pause this. We're a little better now. It won't last, but that's okay. I had mints. Or, I don't know, they were more like spicy. You get it. Fun times. The early years. Let's get something out of the way. There's no way for your 3D mind to process my 2D homeworld unless you chug expired milk while looking at a kaleidoscope. But since we're pals, I'll beam an image directly into your brain of me as a baby. I had Velcro shoes that squeaked when I ran. Everyone loved me immediately, and the mayor dubbed me the best baby of all time. Made my birthday a holiday, and gave out free knives. Look, I know you want some tragic backstory that humanizes me and makes my sharp edges easier to swallow, but if you came to a triangle looking for depth, you're barking up the wrong treatise. Listen, my brain loses function the second I leave school, and I have to go back to school in a week, so this will be great. Truth is, I've always been loved and admired by all, but being special comes with a price. You see, I wasn't just smarter than all the dull trapezoids and rhombuses sucking up my rightful oxygen. I had a gift, a rare mutation. I could see the third dimension. No one else in my stifling pancake of a reality understood what I was talking about when I said there was a direction called up. While they were all bumping around like ants in a terrarium, I could see a world of infinite glittering potential beyond the silver of forgettable gruel that was my home reality. I looked up and saw the stars, and I was ready to be one. Technically, talking about a third dimension was illegal in my world, but I knew that everyone would be grateful if they could see freedom from their delusions. It was time to put on a show. I came up with a plan to show everyone what they were missing. Their screams getting louder and louder so much blood, so much mandibles. My hands shaking as I realized I could never undo was the last one breathing sides of family matter until there was no one left but me, covered in blood, alone in the universe. That's weird. For some reason, whenever I try to talk about that day, there's this loud buzzing in my ears and I black out for 30 seconds. Well, we can come back to it. The important thing is, I freed myself from my suffocating world and freed everyone else too. And everyone loved me for it. And everyone was fine. And that's all there is to say about that. The new dimension I escaped to had a job vacancy for the role of Galactic Overlord. I humbly obliged. Fuck that side of shit. This is electrical wires. There's just loose electrical wires up there, by the way. They won't fix it. Trays and stuff around there. I always like to think it's like people with those like electric mower thingies, but it's not. A lot of the times it's not. It's just that thing. I can't do anything about it. You'd think it's cicadas too. It's not. Meet the crew. With no consistent laws, physical or judicial, my new unclaimed space between spaces was the perfect realm to overthrow. But every pirate king needs a crew. Joining my club was easy. You just needed to pass the initiation, get the brand, sever all ties to your prior life, and fight to the death in a giant burger place ball pit for my loyalty. A family. Soon, the strongest oddballs in reality were rolling right into my corner pocket. Hench maniacs. Join the family. Hyronica. Skill, quantum physics and arson. She's a pyrobrainiac. Origin, periodic table dimension. Known for beauty queen who burned her city down after getting second place, melted the metallic cops chasing her. You'll never take me alive, Copper. Dream, settle down, start a family. Just kidding. She wants to burn down the entire universe, be interviewed on Hot Ones, seduce Smokey Bear just for the kick of it. I hear dogs now, too. There is no peace in this building. Arch enemy. Her twin sister Hydronica. Exes a marshmallow, a scarecrow, and a Hectagon. Oh, his name's Hectagon. Okay. Weakness. A heavy flame retardant tarp. Judge ruled. Each thing she has touched melts in her clutch. Legally declared to be too much. 8-ball. Skill. The muscle. Nickname. Ocho Loco. Diet mainly eats bounty hunters. Origin unknown. Abandoned by family, found chained up in a Laudercon 9 casino. Prisoner pit eating card counters. Party trick can remove his eyes and roll them like dice. Sees 8 seconds into the future. Dream to host a podcast where he tries to figure out what a podcast is. Addicted to pool cue resin. Secret? Completely in love with Pyronica. Always gets burned. Quote. What's a quote? Can I eat it? Teeth. Roll. The pet. We all take turns deciding whose turn it is to take him out for chomps. Skill. Jaw force can bite through titanium. He can also count all the way to 6. Good boy. Origin. Found abandoned in a bucket of jawbreakers. Shame. After finding someone he couldn't bite through, he had a dental breakdown. 8-ball got him out of his depression by lending him his dark matter weighted blanket. Amorphous shape. Amorphous shape. Role. Distraction. Origin. Showed up on our couch one day and never left. Skill. Not clear. No one can understand her. Which I respect. Might be an artist or arts. Only visible to me, 8-ball, guys on DMT. Dan Crabbleman. Role. Thinks he's my lawyer. Is actually my fall guy. Been tricking him into signing my paperwork for years. If the law ever comes for me, Crabbleman is cooked. Quote. Just happy to be a part of the team. Keyhole. Role. Spy, locksmith, prank target, R. Thompson. Origin. Guard at the vault of infinity, where the universe's secrets are kept. Was caught trying to break into his own head to steal his own thoughts. Dream. Restart his high school band, the Low Keys. Had a terrible emo phase. Will be the first to flip. Secret shame. His laptop password is a 123 password. Hates Pyronica. And more. Xanther, Lovecraftian god, getaway vehicle, Hectagon, started out as a sheriff hunting us down, ditched the badge and joined. Kryptos, go straight to my riddles. Lava lamp, master of disguise. Screwball, secret informant, doesn't know, we all feed him false plans and keep him off the group chat. He pretends it doesn't hurt, but it obviously does. Pacifier, logics, masochism. Tony Three Legs is a joke because he's just a single sentient leg. And then we have a girl that's crossed out, not important. As different as they all were, and no, as different as they were, all of these dimensional outcasts, rejects, and orphans were looking for a real home, and more importantly, purpose. And what purpose could be better than a heist for the entire multiverse? We had a plan. Smash reality, build our clubhouse with its bones, create a place where we could rule and never look back. The good times. Have you ever been the feared god king of your own swirling nightmare realm? I highly recommend it. I freed prisoners from bondage, mental patients from asylums, and dollars from bank vaults. And I was beloved for it. Soon I was the most feared being in any reality, and my territory just kept expanding. Highlights of my glory days: crashing two planes together to make them kiss, watching a barber pole go up for 2 billion years, discovering a chemical element that makes dimensional authorities explode, no pygium, and building a clubhouse out of it, watching my bounty go higher and higher, throwing Nightmare Realm prom, death toll 300, releasing my Christmas album. It was bad. Disassociating, waking up to find I'd conquered another dynasty. Score! When the party's over, alas, you never know when you're in the middle of your glory years until they're over. Remember that, kids. Today is tomorrow's yesterday, so enjoy the pre-nostalgia while it's hot. The problem with the Nightmare Realm is that the same lack of physics that made it so fun also meant that it was slowly unraveling at the seams. Unstable, careening towards complete meltdown. It happens to every reality eventually. The force of boringness known to science as entropy, artists as burnout, dates as awkward pauses, was coming for us. The form it took this time, the edge of reality. No one knows how it started, but every second the edge was getting a little closer to our clubhouse. In a trillion years, anyone who wasn't safely hunkered down in a stable dimension when this edge passed would be instantly erased from reality, like a TV series dropped without any promotion on a streaming network. It would be like we never even existed. My new friends were scared. They wanted to keep the party going forever, and I take hosting parties very seriously. It was becoming clear that it was time to say goodbye to our sweet, sweet Nightmare Realm. This meant we needed to find a new universe to relocate our chaos to, and there was one universe and one planet in particular most susceptible to conquest. There was just a little baby problem. Okay, a big baby problem. A baby problem. It turned out your dimension had a guardian. This piece of work, Cornelius Infinitium Titanicus the Infiniteth, known to you as Time Baby, his goons patrolled a billion-year radius around Earth's temporal perimeter, keeping the baby safe atop his high throne in the year... I'm not even going to try. This meant that if I wanted Earth, I'd have to pry it from his fat, sausagey fingers. About the dumb baby. Age: 2 billion years old. The terrible 2 billions. Weight: 600 tons. Imagine giving birth to this thing. Sorry, Mom. Origin: the last surviving son of an extinct race of chronogiants. Tasked with controlling all of time, no pacifier can pacify him. Powers: you'd think it would be easy outsmarting a baby, but this one had his own army that was capable of aging you backwards, pausing you forever with a time bomb, or thwarting your plans before you even think of them. And don't even try to enter his mind. Baby brains don't have object permanence, so if I walked inside his head, I'd be erased the moment he saw jiggling keys. I offered Chubster a deal. We weren't that different after all. We were both orphan gods who loved commanding armies and hated wearing pants. If he would let me take this one teensy tiny little planet, I could promise to stop giving him night terrors. Maybe I could even sneak him extra juice every now and then, as long as he promised not to get too hyper about it. I sent out a telepathic message telling him to meet me outside the timeline to discuss my demands. This made him cranky. Alert from Time Baby. Bill Cipher, criminal, sadistic, yellow, guilty. Bill Cipher, I'm a silly guy. Attention, all time agents. I was lying in my crib of dominance, staring up at the mobile of prophecy when I sensed an anomaly. His name is Bill Cipher, and he is the only brightly colored shape that I do not wish to put in my mouth. This rogue two-dimensional being has been spotted breaking laws of reality and retreating to interdimensional waters, where he plots the destruction of our very world. He also called me Chubster. I know this news is painful, but we must suckle from the bottle of truth, even if it hurts our tummies and makes us wave our arms in little circles. Now, even more than ever, I need you to support our empire, like how my neck barely supports my massive head. I am pounding the table with both palms. I will not rest. I will not wipe the spaghetti sauce off my face until Cypher is brought to justice. Bring him to me. I am making grabby hands. Also, bring me a plate of buttered noodles and a large plastic ring. Do not question me. In summary, wah. The eternal emperor of time, Time Baby. P.S. Coco Melon was good today. They told me what sound the cow makes. I will take this dark secret with me to the grave. Bye-bye, baby. Before you could say tantrum, Diapers and his army had warped to the nightmare realm and right into my trap. You thought I was gonna play peekaboo with them? The physics don't work the same out here, and my henchmen had zero moral hangups about punching a baby. It was on. Our brawl destroyed 6 planets and caused radiation that SETI still picks up as static on radar today. He spat up in my eye, used me as a teething ring, and almost suffocated me in his cheek fat, but ultimately he was no match for my distracting squeaky duck or Xanthar's right hook. Time Baby was blasted out of the nightmare realm and crashed into Earth, creating a shock wave that boiled the oceans and instantly caused the permanent extinction of the dinosaurs. Whoops. What really killed the dinosaurs? The baby was soon completely frozen in a glacier as that ice age swept the globe. The time agents were leaderless, thrown into disarray. Their time tapes draw strength from the baby's chronokinesis, leaving them stranded in their own century, forced to wait until their commander would be thawed out to serve them again. This meant I finally had the one thing those dorks treasured most: time. Hello, Earth. It was finally showtime. Okay, about now you're probably wondering the big question. Bill, how do you get your eyelashes to look so fierce when mine look so busted? Is that mascara or what? Please teach me to slay. I'll die before I reveal my beauty secrets, but you might also be wondering, hey Bill, if my planet's so average, why did you want to conquer it? Is it because you secretly respect the noble dignity of human spirit? oh, you're making me smear my mascara. No, the only thing special about the disappointment ball, that's what I call Earth, is that it happens to coincidentally exist on a weak spot between dimensions, like the thin, breakable crust on a creme brulee. With my nightmare realm slowly collapsing under the weight of its own greatness, your reality was the perfect new dimension for me and my pals to party hop to. I just needed to wait for mine to evolve, because where there are minds, there are dreams, and where there are dreams, there's me. I just needed one special life form to open the door and let me in. Who might it be? Gravity Falls, 30 mil BC. Welcome to Gravity Falls. Much in the same way that objects of great density warp space-time, objects of great peculiarity warp probability. Attracting anomalies. The first describes the law of gravity. The second describes the law of gravity falls. Stanford Pine's private notes. It was true. This postcard, Perfect Valley, had everything a demon could want in a new home. Fresh air, blue skies, and a razor-thin membrane between its dimension and the nightmare realm. Oh, and the land orca. Have you ever seen the land orca? I love that guy. If you see a water spout over the forest line, run. Bill fact. Park rangers don't want you to know this, but if you saw in half any ancient redwood in Gravity Falls, you can see each time I visited. Talking's hard. But the real draw of Gravity Falls, what it Little fact: park rangers don't want you to know this, but if you saw in half any ancient road in Gravity Falls, you can see each time I visited. But the real draw of Gravity Falls was its unnatural resources. Unexplainium, fool's gold, real gold that looks like fool's gold. Either or, a type of mineral that affects dimensional splitting, fossilized cyclops, femurs, paleo gnome skulls, and the best of all, crash site Omega. Turns out I wasn't the first extrapolatory tourist in town. Those idiot seven-dimensional trilazics Bedians had crashed one of their ships right into the center of the attractor zone, leaving the valley strewn with perfect materials for building any portal, as well as alien guts, which seeped into the ground soil. Next time you're in town, try a mouthful of alien-flavored dirt. This was the spot. I scoured all the light forms here for one that seemed most capable of getting me. Unfortunately, I found one. Gravity Falls National Forest. It's normal. The Shaman. Talk about a portal tease. My first ever human pal seemed perfect at first. The wisest of his tribe, he left at the offer to build a gateway to the secrets of the universe. He had some great times licking a hallucinogenic moss, gossiping about the astral plane, naming the constellations. I taught him how to speak moose, and he taught me a cool dance that could create lightning. The tribe loved me too. They carved me into the tips of the spears they used to hunt Gravity Falls' elusive micro mammoth. Very small, but very delicious. Honestly, it was the best this town ever got. By the way, these totem poles at the Mystery Shack, totally wrong. Way to mix up the Pacific Northwest and the Northwest Plateau ding-dongs. But Mr. Wise Guy apparently got cold feet after having a vision of how my realm liked to party. Just as I was sending out the invites to my first Weird McGinnon, BYOB, bring your own bubbles of madness, he canceled the deal, burned our redwood portal to the ground, evacuated the tribe, and banned me from the entire valley with a mix of ancient sorcery and pure spite. And why? Just because my first portal attempt might have turned a guy's face to stone, released a couple of lake monsters, and punched a giant hole in the ground. The ground looked better with that hole. It was bottomless. So what if I briefly turn the sky red? It looks good in red. If that wasn't bad enough, Backstabber cave painted step-by-step instructions to any future generations, telling them exactly how to pull the same trick, and warning them about the beast with just one eye. Rude finally he hit me with the prophecy. He claimed 10 cosmic symbols aligned in harmony were destined to bear witness to my defeat, which I think was just his way of trying to mess with my head. I've known a lot of symbols in my day, and these were hardly the most threatening. A heart? A scar? Basic. What was this? Lucky leprechaun cereal? I'm not scared of cereal. I eat that stuff for breakfast. Guys in robes love tossing out prophecies. You can find them on any street corner, but the shaman's intensity made me think I should look into it. I scanned all the possible timelines into the distant future. It became clear these represented humans I'd bump into at some point. There was a pig involved and a kid with an undiagnosed anxiety disorder. Something called questioning the question mark. Fine, if I ever bumped into these clowns, I'd be ready for them. I just punched the god of time and survived a shaman's curse. A fat grandpa and a pimply teen lumberjack were no match for me, and I didn't need this town either. I astrally projected a message out to every warlord, priest, king, and pharaoh in the ancient world. I was looking for a new best friend, for the low, low price of a portal and eternal servitude. And if I ran into any symbols, I'd be ready. Oh, that's a lot of words. Who wants to build my portal? Time for a new best friend. Ancient Egypt. Egypt had it all: sand, sandstone, sandstorms, even sand. But could they build a polydimensional metal vortex? Oh, meta vortex? I tried one of the pharaohs, can't remember which. They all wore the same hat. And that guy became obsessed with me. Like, he started chiseling me all over the walls, copying how I do my eyeliner. It was getting embarrassing. Look how thirsty he was for friendship. We pray to Ra that this stupid triangle will leave us alone. Pharaoh Amenemhat, 1800 BCE. Ha ha ha. That was an inside joke we had. He would do these elaborate rituals to try to banish me, and I would send him these fun, flirty plagues back to be like, hi. Finally, he told me he couldn't figure out how to make a portal, and he would put my face on the pyramids if I would stop shaving all his cats. To be clear, there were no aliens involved. Anyone who thinks it took aliens to build a big triangle but have rocks is trying to sell you something. And based on the look of this guy, I'd say don't buy it. The Aztecs. I had a pitch for these guys. Why not try to make me a portal entirely out of freshly sacrificed human hearts? What do you have to lose? 9,000 hearts later, it became clear there were some limits to heart-based mechanical construction, but you gotta admire the dedication. Clear eyes, freshly ripped out hearts, can't lose. God of mischief, God of thrills. God, we're also sick of Bill. Priest Tezocatlan. Easter Island. You know, I don't really know what I was thinking here. These guys tried their best, didn't have fingers, cut them some slack. Did you know? Egyptians didn't just mummify humans, they mummified cats, hawks, ferrets, even bears. They used a special kind of sap from a rubber tree to allow these mummy bears to bounce. Here and there and everywhere. It was frankly an adventure that was beyond compare. The Dark Ages. The Dark Ages were hilarious. Medicine was just amputation and leeches. No one had invented soap or numbers yet, and this is what they thought a baby looked like. Don't quit your day job, Archibald. I figured some wizard must be inventing alchemy by then, so I looked around for the guy with the weirdest eyebrows, and sure enough, I found him. Dark Warlock. Ooh. The unpronounceable. Yeah, no kidding, it's unpronounceable. Good grief. He was my kind of wizard. He used his powers namely to flirt with maidens, torment knights, and gamble on underground unicorn fights. In the pranks, he cursed a gnome to be permanently unable to say anything other than his own name. Genius. Unfortunately, was going through a rough patch. He'd just gotten a divorce from a bog hag and was spending all day hiding in his tower staring at a bewitched parchment called a doom scroll. Brilliant, morally ambiguous, and romantically challenged. Move over, Shannon. I had a new favorite human. I told Exy that if he could design me a portal, we could rule this vast-forsaken time period together, and he could have all the orbs and owls he wanted. He liked my moxie and lust for power, but there was a problem. The cursed amulet needed to power the portal was locked in the king's treasury, guarded by the burliest and fanciest knights. He asked if I could deal with them. Oh, I could. Built it. If you ever have to get rid of knights, Just remember that those horse jocks can't resist a time-wasting side quest. I think there's some illuminated manuscripts about the incident somewhere. Where are we at? We're a little over halfway. By like 2 pages. Oh, what a long book. Oh no, I can't read this font. I can't read this font, but I will show you the page. I'm sorry. Hearing things. Key portal, okay. Never trust a wizard. Turns out while I was distracting the knights, he encircled the portal with unicorn hair and used it to trap me in an orb. He never wanted to rule the kingdom, he just wanted a new trick to impress his ex. And by sheer cosmic chance, he pulled it off. I don't know if you've ever been trapped in an orb before, but it's the worst. He kept shaking me like a snow globe, pointing his wand at me like a remote control, pretending to be changing channels, and inviting the bog hag over to ponder me together. They made me dance for the king's amusement, like some kind of light dinner entertainment. The tapestries were humiliating, or are humiliating. I was officially over this time period. I burned so hot with rage, I melted the glass and broke free. He tried to apologize. We'd had some good times, right? Couldn't I just let this one slide for old time's sake? He tried to appeal to my sense of decency. I possessed his pet phoenix, burned down the whole castle, and cursed its entire time period with nightmares for 100 years. Ever wondered where all those weird creatures and margins of monks' tapestries come from? Yours truly. Unfortunately, I may have gone a little overboard. News of the bastard triangle of England began to spread. The humans were starting to realize there was a new superstition in town, one who couldn't be kept away with a line of salt. Cipher Sure. This set off history's first ever full-blown bill panic. Russian mothers warned that Cypherashka would steal the dreams of children who didn't finish their borscht. And there was a nursery rhyme in England that went, rock-a-bye baby, snug in your bed, beware of Cypher invading your head. If you see Cypher, please scream and shout, and we will shake baby till Cypher comes out. Unknown bad mother in the 1500s. King Henry, whatever number that is, was so paranoid about me visiting the dreams of his wives, oh, it must be 8, that he started chopping off their heads just to kick me out of their brains. Hey pal, maybe your wives would let you into their heads if you were a better conversationalist. Communication skills, Henry. Even the Vikings, who I thought were supposed to be cool, started putting up runes warning everyone to throw Olaf overboard if he draws this shape. What the heck? Thanks for blowing my cover, Olaf. Those guys could have been my Norsemen of the apocalypse. It was beginning to look like all of Europe was awash, which was fine because I was getting bored of all their religious wars and silly hats. I needed another continent to invade, and just my luck, Atlantis was finally flourishing. Unfortunately, before I could strike a deal with the Emperor Gublak of Atlantis, he decided to start an undersea war with Lobster, Lord of the Deep. Nice guy, but very political. I'd be banned from most of the Eastern Hemisphere by now. Through various curses, my only option was to return to the continent that had spurred me before, Wacky Land, or as it was later called, or renamed, America. Oh, right. Show you the page, show you the page. Witchcraft. Unfortunately, New England had a lot of the same problems as Old England, and these clowns. They called themselves the Puritans, and they had the least satisfied wives in human history. These preachy wet blankets literally outlawed imagination, meaning they didn't even have dreams for me to invade. One of their many stupid laws was that a woman who stopped churning butter for 5 consecutive seconds or wore pants was called a witch and was thrown in a well, crushed under a boulder, burned at a stake, or lectured to death about her physical appearance by a guy wearing hat buckets. Look, you know how I feel about human suffering? It is funny, but variety is the spice of death. I decided to mix things up by offering a few of the accused housewives some real occult spells for a change. I came to them in the form of a goat, the only life form whose pupils stayed the same while possessed, and asked them one simple, irresistible question. The answer was a unanimous aye. Next time you're in Salem, keep an eye out for relics of my handiwork. Wouldst thou like to live ridiculously? The Witches' Rebellion, 1692. Oh, how quickly the winds of fate change. Merely one fortnight ago, I was poverty-stricken housewife, knowing not but... I hate Old English. Here, you read it. You're welcome. Hope you read that. Good for you, bud. America, the only country, an American. So, why are you in the dollar bill anyway? I offered the founding fathers the deal of a lifetime. Let me secretly run the government, and I'd help them defeat the British. At first, they were into it, but they didn't love my first draft of the Constitution, or the way I kept calling Martha Washington, hot lips. When they changed their mind, I gave them such bad nightmares that they put me on a dollar bill as an offering to make me stop. Bill fact: how to defeat the British. Simply destroy their tea. The secret to their power: British blood is 80% tea. Throwing away tea in front of them is like shooting a werewolf with a silver bullet. More of America's dumb secrets. Abe Lincoln wore that hat so nobody could see me sitting on his head, pulling his hair and controlling his body to make him cook risotto. The Capitol dome is lined with lead to keep me from getting in. Good thing lead doesn't cause any kind of poisoning. I'm sure every president is fine. My draft of the Constitution was better than the crummy one they wound up with. It outlawed laws. Anarchy. There's a button inside the Liberty Bell that makes Delaware explode. Did you know you can eat a penny? The only good president, Quentin Tremblay, probably the smartest man in history. His negative $12 bill meant that whoever he gave it to now legally owed him $12. Genius. I asked him to start a jug band with me, but he thought I was just one of his hourly hallucinations and got back to trying to chase a duck around his office. What a mind! Cyclops. The massive, bellowing Cyclops that Lincoln rode into battle to win the Civil War. This was my idea. Where's my monument? (1901) The Anti-Cipher Society. America loved me so much that they started a fan club. Wait, what do you call a fan club that's dedicated to your destruction? Oh yeah, a fandom. They called themselves the Anti-Cipher Society, and their motto was to destroy the vexatious demon which hath imbibulated the peace of the dreaming gentleman. Catchy. Look, I couldn't make this up if I tried. Just get a load of what these dorks sounded like. If you aren't allergic to Scipia, turn the page for a peek at the journal of their escalated leader. Give me a minute. Game back. The interesting stuff, like the stuff that I'm interested in, is more towards the end of the book. So I'm kind of trying to get to the people he's worked with, because I don't find them as interesting. But I said I'd read the book, but I've been skipping stuff. Maybe I will just skip the stuff. It's okay, it's my video. I will do what I want. I will, however, show you this. Ooh, this one's interesting. The 1940s, I began hanging out in nuclear testing ranges to see if the radiation would blast open a hole in my reality. It worked for about 3 hours. Top secret. Office memo. United States Government, July 11th, 1947. From Commander Buck Pearson of the U.S. Army. At 10:45 on the morning of July 11th, 1947, a triangular airborne object was detected entering U.S. airspace, crash landing just outside Roswell, New Mexico. We phoned President Truman immediately, and he told us not to get our panties in a twist, and that he was busy thinking of doctrines, but to phone him if anything communisty happens. Our men have captured the object, which our experts have ascertained was not a craft, but is in fact a life form of unknown origin. The life form which we contained in an interrogation cell after great effort was capable of speech and a great deal of sass and talkback. You and the fellas aren't going to believe this. I will let the photographs speak for themselves. Name, Bill Seifert. Date of birth, claimed to be older than your mom, Jack. Our interrogator tried to tackle him for the insult, but was restrained and replaced with another interrogator. Country of origin, the Mindscape. Maybe code for Moscow. Language, can speak English backwards and forwards. Race, triangle. Gender, I'm just going to put triangle down again. Blood type, beyond description. 2 of our men had to be sent to the sick tent for nausea. Motive, difficult to ascertain. He offered a deal. He'd give us a mere handshake with He'd give us sensitive intel in exchange for a mere handshake with President Truman. As much as we hate to get POTUS involved, a handshake seemed like a small price to pay to get to the bottom of this incident. What was the worst that could happen? Then he said, I wonder how cool it would be if all the nukes went off at once. We decided to deny him the handshake. Autopsy report. He drew a dotted line on his own chest and said, I can't wait to see what's inside me. But when we tried to make an incision, he kept disappearing and reappearing like a television set changing stations. He claimed this was damage from an accidental reality breach and wouldn't say anything more unless we got him a really big lollipop. Finally, with a loud bang that left our ears ringing, he was gone, leaving a bow tie spinning on the ground. None of us knew what to make of it. Truly bizarre. Update. We have received a call from the Bureau of demanding we burn all records and refer to
and refer the case to them. I said, I've never heard of you, and they said, you've probably never heard of Tremblay either. Let's keep it that way. Honestly, I don't even care if this is a prank. I'm happy to oblige. This form will not be removed from file. I had to admit it. My big bet on Earth was starting to look like a bad hand. Every human partner had double-crossed me, gone crazy, or melted from portal radiation. I was toying with the idea of giving up and blowing the horn that summons to rise from the ocean and drown humanity in brine. When I suddenly felt a shiver through my entire body and started laughing uncontrollably. I laughed so hard that the signal was picked up on every radar dish from Antarctica to NASA, to the Soviet space station. I laughed so hard every stoplight on Earth turned yellow. I laughed so hard my henchmaniac slowly backed out of the room. Someone had done it. Someone had reversed the shaman spell and had summoned me back to Gravity Falls. Who would it be? A genius? An idiot? Oh my goodness. Yes, it was both. Sixer. Hey, a smart guy. Gaze upon him, folks. This is what a partner looks like. The ego of a king, the insecurity of a circus freak, and totally isolated from anyone who might steer him clear of my plans. Society calls these people outcasts. I call them henchmaniacs. I paid Smine a visit, and oh, what a roomy mind it was. This guy's IQ was off the charts. And he was wasting his gifts on what? Sketching D-list cryptids and collecting moths? If he ever tries to show you his moth collection, throw yourself off a cliff. No. I took a little peek through his possible futures and giggled with delight. He was destined for so much more, and those hands, it was suddenly so clear. The shaman zodiac wasn't a cage meant to trap me. It was a trick to try to keep me away from the humans I could use. Me and Sixer would be the perfect team. I had what he always wanted, charisma, and he had what I wanted, fingers. Since you and me are pals, how about I give you a peek at something super rare? Sixer was a lot better at science than he was at making friends, and he tended to rip out journal pages that had anything to do with his issues with others. Especially me. Want to see what he was hiding? We both know you do. Journal 3, the missing pages. Oh boy, I hope he draws me pretty. Bye.